Today beta we will be studying about the fruit. Which part are we going to study in this video? We are just going to study about the fruit here in the first section, and then I will be taking up the more of this seed. But first let's study about fruit. Very little in your syllabus to know about fruit. What is fruit beta? We know that this is a characteristic feature of flowering plants. Flowering plants, it's a feature that flowering plants generally produce fruits. What is a fruit? It's a mature ovary which develops after fertilization. After fertilization, the ovary becomes mature, and such kind of an ovary is what we call as a fruit. So in simple language, what is a fruit? It's a mature ovary which develops after fertilization. Mature ovary which develops after fertilization is what we call as a fruit. But there are some times, there are some exceptions when a fruit is formed without fertilization of the ovary. Just now we said that after fertilization, the mature ovary is what we call as a fruit. But there are times when the fruit is formed without fertilization of the ovary. Such kind of fruits are known as parthenocarpic fruits. Parthenocarpic. P-A-R-T-H-E-N-O-C-A-R-P-I-C. Parthenocarpic fruits. So what is a fruit? Mature ovary developed after fertilization. And what is a parthenocarpic fruit? If the fruit is formed without the fertilization of ovary, then we call it as a parthenocarpic fruit. I hope you know the difference between a normal fruit and a parthenocarpic fruit. Listen again, what is a normal fruit? A mature ovary which is formed after fertilization. Okay, after fertilization of the ovary, what we get is a normal fruit. But if a fruit is formed without fertilization of the ovary, we call it as a parthenocarpic fruit. Now the fruit generally consists of two main parts. It has the outer wall, which we call as pericarp. P-E-R-I-C-A-R-P. What is it called? Pericarp. And of course inside what we have is seeds. So two main structures or two main portions in which a fruit can be divided is the outer wall, which is known as pericarp, and what is present inside are the seeds. This outer wall, this pericarp, it could be dry or it could be fleshy. The outer wall of a fruit, it could be dry or it could be even fleshy. Now, if the pericarp is fleshy, then you can again differentiate into three layers. If the pericarp is fleshy, remember, if we are talking about, I said pericarp could be dry or it could be fleshy. But if the pericarp is fleshy, we will again differentiate into three layers. The outer layer is called epicarp, E-P-I-C-A-R-P, epicarp. The middle layer is called mesocarp, M-E-S-O, and the inner layer is called endocarp. Epicarp, mesocarp, endocarp. So if you go from outside towards inside, the sequences, outer one epicarp, the middle one is mesocarp, and the inner one is what we call as endocarp. What are these? Epicarp, mesocarp, endocarp. We have differentiated the pericarp layer of fleshy fruits. Is it okay? Let me explain it with an example. Let's talk about a mango beta. Okay? In mango, the pericarp, that means the outer wall, is differentiated very clearly into outer thin epicarp. The outer epicarp is very thin, and what you eat, the middle fleshy part, is actually the mesocarp, and the inner hard thing that you have, which you generally call as a seed, that is the endocarp. That is the endocarp. I think this would be easiest way to remember. In mango, your pericarp, that is the outer wall, is because it is fleshy. So the pericarp is differentiated into three layers. The outer one, thin one, that is epicarp. The middle fleshy, edible, the part which you eat in a mango, the fleshy part is the mesocarp, and the inner hard one is the endocarp. However, now in coconut, the fruit is called drupe. Why is it called drupe? See beta, these fruits, drupes, they develop from monocarpellary superior ovaries and are one-seeded. Even mango you can call it as a drupe. Mango also can be called as a drupe. Coconut also can be called as a drupe. Look at this word drupe. D-R-U-P-E, drupe. Whenever you come across this word drupe, remember two things about this. That this fruit has developed from a monocarpellary ovary. You remember in the previous video we did monocarpellary, bicarpellary. Okay, that means only one carpel. So that ovary which had only one carpel, that is it. We are talking about what? We are talking about a monocarpellary ovary. So drupes develop from monocarpellary ovary. Another thing you need to remember is that the ovary is superior. You had done superior ovary, half inferior ovary and inferior ovary if you remember. Superior ovary at the top, all other parts below it. That was what we call a superior ovary. So whenever this word drupe comes for a flower remember that drupe is actually those fruits which develop from which kind of ovaries? Monocarpellary ovaries and superior ovaries. Monocarpellary ovaries over here, you see they are one-seeded. They are always one-seeded. Let's talk about mango. It is one-seeded. So we can call it as a drupe over here. So drupes, they develop from monocarpellary, superior ovaries and are one-seeded fruits. You remember one more point we can take it over here. One-seeded. Example is mango and coconut. Now, let's move on to the next one. See beta, let's move on to seeds now. Before I go to seeds, very fast fruit. What is fruit? It's a characteristic feature of flowering plants. It's a normal fruit is a mature ovary which develops after fertilization. But if a fruit is formed without fertilization, we call it as a parthenocarpic fruit. Fruit consists of the outer wall which is called pericarp and what is inside are the seeds. The pericarp could be dry or it could be fleshy. If it is fleshy, you can further differentiate into three layers. The outer one epicarp, the middle one mesocarp and the inner one is the endocarp. In mango and coconut, the fruit is called as drupe. Such kind of fruits develop from monocarpellary, superior ovaries and are one-seeded. Remember the examples mango, coconut. Now, in mango, pericarp is differentiated into that outer thin epicarp, the middle fleshy what you eat edible mesocarp and the inner hard one that is endocarp. Now we move on to seeds. What are seeds? Ovules after fertilization develop into seeds. Ovary after fertilization develops into fruits and the ovules after fertilization they develop into seeds. Seeds are again made up of two main components or two main structures, the seed coat and the embryo. Remember what are the two main parts of the seeds? The seed coat and the embryo. Like in a fruit we had two main parts, the wall which is called pericarp and seeds. Similarly, seed again two main parts to remember, the seed coat and the embryo. What is embryo beta? It is actually what? It is made up of the radicle, embryonal axis and one or two cotyledons. If you see your embryo, it is made up of what? It is made up of a radicle. You know what is a radicle? The surface or the structure from which roots originate. So your embryo is made up of three things. First is the radicle. Second is it has an axis which is known as embryonal axis and it could have cotyledons. It could have one cotyledon or it could have two cotyledons. If it is one cotyledon, we call it as monocotyledonous seed. If it is two cotyledons, we will call it as a dicotyledonous seed. In this video, I will be only taking up a dicotyledonous seed. See beta, in a dicotyledonous seed, the outermost covering of the seed is the seed coat. If you can see this, I made a dicotyledonous seed over here. You can very clearly see two cotyledons are here. Fine. This outermost covering of the seed coat, okay, this one. This is what we call as the seed coat. What is it called? Seed coat. Seed coat has two layers again. This seed coat that you see, it has two layers again. The outer layer, okay, what we are going to do is the seed coat again has two layers. The outer one is called testa and the inner one is called tegmen. If this is my seed coat, then this outer one is testa and this inner one is tegmen. I hope you remember the spellings. T-E-S-T-A, testa, and the inner one is tegmen, T-E-G-M-E-N, tegmen. Now, if you see carefully, there is scar on the seed coat through which developing seeds were attached to the fruit. Why do we have that scar? It is that point where the seeds were first attached to the fruit. This scar is called hilum. See this part here. This scar. Scar-like structure. You know what is a scar? Na? H-I-L-U-M. Dag, what we call in Hindi. H-I-E-L-U-M, hilum. So this scar is called hilum. This scar generally develops because seeds were attached to the fruit at this point. That is why this is known as, it is known as hilum. Just above the hilum you will find a small pore. What is it called? It is known as micropyle. What is the pore called as? Micropyle. Now, within the seed coat, let's go inside the seed coat. We know we have two cotyledons. So the embryo consists of two cotyledons. These cotyledons are fleshy. Why are they fleshy? Because they are full of reserve food material. At the ends of the embryonal axis are present the radicle and the plumule. See, this is your embryonal axis. At the ends over here, this end you have the plumule and this lower end what you have is your radicle. Okay, at the end of the axis, the lower end you have your radicle, the upper end what you have is your plumule. Can you see very clearly? Now, in some seeds, for example castor, the endosperm is formed as a result of double fertilization. I hope you all remember what is double fertilization. So in some seeds, for example castor, the endosperm is formed as a result of double fertilization. So that means it is a food storing tissue. It's a food storing tissue. However, in plants like gram and pea, the endosperm, it is not present in mature seeds. Endosperm is not present in mature seeds. Such kind of seeds which do not have an endosperm are known as non-endospermous seeds. See, when they become mature, there is no endosperm present in them. For example, pea plant, pea seeds. I am talking about pea. In such kind of plants where the endosperm is not present in mature seeds, they are known as non-endospermous. What are they called? Non-endospermous. So seeds, ovules after fertilization develop into seeds. Seed is made up of what? Seed coat and embryo. Now structure of dicot seed we did. The outermost covering of the seed is the seed coat. This seed coat again has two layers. Is it okay? The outer one is called testa, T-E-S-T-A, testa, and the inner one is tegmen, T-E-G-M-E-N, tegmen. Now there is a scar on the seed coat for which developing seeds are attached. This scar is called hilum, H-I-L-U-M, hilum. We also have a small pore which is known as micropyle. Now within the seed coat if we go, we will see that the embryo consists of how many cotyledons? We've got two cotyledons over here, and at the ends of the axis we have a plumule and we have a radicle. We did some special cases, for example seeds like castor. Here the endosperm is formed as a result of double fertilization. So it's a food storing tissue. And we did another exception, that is in plants like gram and peas, the endosperm is not present in the mature seeds. And such seeds, they are known as non-endospermous seeds because the seed does not have an endosperm. So we call these seeds as which seeds? And non-endospermous seeds. So what are the new terms you've done, beta? You did about parthenocarpic fruit, a fruit which develops without the fertilization of ovary. Then we said if the outer wall of a fruit is pericarp, and if the pericarp is fleshy, it can be differentiated into epicarp, mesocarp and endocarp. Another word which you got today is drupe. What is it? Drupe. Drupe, such kind of fruits, they develop from monocarpellary ovary, superior ovary, and they are one-seeded. Example I told you is coconut and mango. Then we did seeds, structure of a dicot seed. We had two cotyledons. We had the seed coat again into two layers, outer one testa, inner one tegmen. Here we have two cotyledons. We had a scar-like structure, hilum, a hole or a pore which is known as micropyle, and on the ends of the axis we had the plumule, here we had the radicle, and these two are cotyledons. Two exceptions we did about endosperm. First was in castor. Endosperm is formed as a result of double fertilization. It's a food storing tissue. And in plants like gram, the endosperm is not present in mature seeds. Such kind of seeds are known as non-endospermous seeds. So these are the modifications. The last two I did was modifications with respect to what? With respect to endosperm. What are the two modifications with respect to endosperm I told you? Revise very fast. The first was in regards to the castor. What was happening in castor? Endosperm was formed as a result of what? Double fertilization. So it is a food storing tissue. Then we did another modification in gram and pea. Here in mature seeds, endosperm is not present only. And such kind of seeds, they are known as endospermous seeds. What are they called? Endospermous. If you can see in this diagram very clearly, this is a dicotyledonous seed. This is one cotyledon, this is two cotyledons. This outermost covering is called as seed coat. Let me make it a little thicker for you. This is seed coat. Now in this seed coat also, if you see, this seed coat again has two layers, two thin layers we have. The outer layer is called testa, like this one, it could be testa. The inner one is what we call as tegmen. What is it called? Tegmen. Is it okay? Then we had this scar-like structure which is known as hilum, scar-like structure, H-I-L-U-M, hilum. And we had a pore which is known as, what is it? That small pore that we have, that is known as micropyle. Micropyle. So remember the words hilum, micropyle,